Hello friends, welcome to Versio. So after our last lecture, today we are back with our casual taxable person under GST. So the today's lecture will focus on casual taxable person and how it's going to get impacted and what are the different compliance requirement under GST for casual taxable person and how what is the casual taxable person when a person, a normal businessman, comes into this category, and what are the compliance requirements that you need to be aware of. So before we start our discussion, we need to understand why this is called as casual taxable person. So this casual taxable person, the basic term that is being used here is how it's different from the normal taxable person is because a casual taxable person provides some service or some goods or service or make some supply to a place where he does not have a permanent place of, or you can say he does not have a fixed place of business. So let's say a Mr. X here who is situated in Maharashtra and he is supplying some services. Supply is being made in Karnataka. What will happen in this case? Mr. X is situated in Maharashtra. He is making some supply to, let's say, Mr. Y. He is a service provider and that supply is being made from Karnataka. He has procured something from Karnataka and he wants to supply to his buyer who is Mr. Y in Karnataka itself. So the transaction has moved from Karnataka to Karnataka, so it is within state. So he has no option to levy IGST on the billing that he made to Mr. Y because the place of supply, the origin of supply is also in Karnataka and the service has been provided in Karnataka, but he does not have no place of business is there with Mr. X in the state of Karnataka. So what will happen in this case? In this such situation, Mr. X will be treated as casual taxable person. His transactions are taxable, but not in normal course, but in a course of a casual taxable person. So such cases are special cases, and in such situation he just cannot bill to Mr. Y and he has to take certain point into consideration before he do the billing. So what are those points that we will going to look here? And first is that what he need to take. Does he need to take the registration in Karnataka? The answer is yes. So the question again arises that if the answer is yes, then if I am a service provider, let's say Mr. X here is a service provider and he supplies some services to X, Y and Z. But if he supplies the same services from his location, let's say it's Maharashtra, and he's from this remote location, he is remotely supplying the services to Karnataka, to Gujarat, to Uttar Pradesh, to different states. So in that case, he can make a IGST invoicing. But let's say Mr. X has to be there has to send his representative from Karnataka to Mr. Whoever Mr. XYZ place to Karnataka to supply that service, and there the service has been provided in Karnataka and not from the Maharashtra. So in that case, he won't be able to bill to this person who is service recipient from Maharashtra charging IGST. So he will have to take temporary registration. Such registration is also you can say a case-to-case registration for such transaction. So what is his requirement? First requirement is that he has to take the registration. So the question may be, first question is he has to take the registration. So when I say he has to take the registration, it means what? You may say that my turnover in a state does not exceed turnover criteria of 20 lakhs. So will this case be applicable to me if even if I am a supplier in Maharashtra where I have a more than 20 lakhs turnover, but in Karnataka I don't have more than 20 lakhs turnover, in Gujarat I don't have more than 20 lakhs turnover, or let's say 10 lakh in some special states. So should I take a casual taxable person registration in such case also? Answer is yes, because as per under section 24, which is an exceptions to section 22, which provides for some benefits or exemption to turnover limit for taking the registration. In such cases, the case of casual taxation, casual taxable person falls under compulsory registration. So yes, he does have to take the registration irrespective of the value. So value is immaterial that of the transaction, and he has to take the registration. Now the question arises, when he should take the registration, at what point he should take the registration. Then the point is, for normal course, if your turnover exceeds like 30 in 20 lakhs in a year, then you take the registration in that period within 30 days from the date when you cross the turnover limit. But in such cases, this is also an exception, and in such cases this will not be applied to this condition, and you have to take the registration prior to your transaction. Prior to your transaction means before you make a supply, you have to take a registration. Prior means how much prior? So you can say this is 5 days prior to my my registration should be valid. You should take 5 days prior registration for making casual taxable supply. So this validity of this registration is valid up to the validity of transaction. Let's say this supply is going to be happen for next 3 months, then the validity will be for the next 3 months. Or it can be, if it's a one-time transaction, then it will expire as soon as the transaction gets over, and the certificate will be issued to the casual taxable person the day he makes the application for this casual taxable supply. And in such case he will have to also deposit some amount which he feels will be the liability for his supply that he is making as a casual taxable person, and that will be deposited to the government account, and challan will be generated, and he will take the registration. So what you can say, if you are supplying any material where you don't have the registration, you first have to take the registration in that state, that is also 5 days prior. You have to pay the taxes and generate the challan. Then after you have these two documents, registration and challan, then you will move ahead with your transaction, and if there is any differences that can be filed while filing the return. So now we'll see saw the registration. Now let's see what are the other things. Then we move to the returns. If I am a casual taxable person, the next question that arises in my mind, being a normal supply, if I have a GST supply, I have to file a annual return. So do I need to file the annual return for this single transaction? The answer is yes, you have to file the annual return, and the person who is a casual taxable person shall furnish annual return for every financial year, and it will be a electronic return, so it's not a manual return. So you have to file an electronic return by when? By when? Should I file it immediately, or should it has a time limit? So the time limit by which before 31st, if you are aware, before 31st December of the following the end of the financial year. So if today I am making some supply, let's say today I am making some supply, let's say today is the 1st of August and I am making some supply, then I have to file by 31st of December 2018, I have to file the annual return for that period. And if you are aware that this transaction, the transaction that you carried out is the only transaction and there is not going to be any further transaction in the year for this, then you don't need to wait till 31st December. It can be filed on or before 31st December. So there is no compulsion as such that you have to file it on this day only, or so you have to determine if you can go ahead if it is a one-time transaction and you are aware that this is a one-time transaction and it's not going to get repeated, then you have to move ahead. Now let's see what is the role of refund. Let's say I have paid the liability of the challan that I paid was rupees 50,000, but the supply that I made was only for up to the taxable value of 20,000. So there is a tax difference. So in such situation, the amount of advance tax deposited by casual taxable person shall not be refunded unless such person has, in respect of entire period within the certificate to him is remain in force, furnish all the returns required under section 39. So before you file the returns that is required to be filed under section 39, you will not get any refund of this balance excess amount that you paid out of advance tax payment. So this creates a further problem for the person. So if you see this casual taxable person, we have to remember 2-3 important points, that you have to take a compulsory registration, and registration should be before 5 days. You have to generate the challan, and the challan can be generated online through gst.gov.in portal. Then you have to file an annual return, that is by 31st December of the next financial year, means after the end of the financial year you have to file the annual return. Then next one is refund, and the refund will be made after you file your all returns under section 39. Then you can apply for the return through your annual return for this casual taxable supply in the respective state. So this is the important case, and this becomes important because today in most of the cases all of the suppliers have registration in let's say 5 or 10 or some states, but there are some exceptions and there are some places where they have to make some supply to the location where they don't have the registration, or where the customer is situated from where they are making the supply they don't have, and that transaction is a one-time transaction or two-time transaction, or it's a one tenure of transaction is 3 months, 6 months, beyond which there will not be any transaction, and a person supplier is sure about that, so he should go ahead with the casual taxable person registration, and this registration will be valid for a specific time, specific transaction. As soon as your transaction gets over, your registration will be surrendered or will be cancelled accordingly. So I hope this will clear your doubt about casual taxable person. If you liked our video, please click like button and do subscribe for future videos from WhatsQ. Till then, goodbye. See you.